Welcome to another episode of the Ginger ROAMance. Here, you'll hear anonymous stories from travellers all over the world. Real submissions from real people. Tales of connection, romance, passion, heartbreak, friendship, and love in all its forms. Because every kind of love deserves to be told. This week on the Ginger ROAMance, we share a holiday romance set in London, England. This story explores love-bombing fears, online chaos, and the quiet voice we often ignore. Let's get into it. I was at a gig a friend dragged me to, standing right up the front near the stage, waiting for the main act. Out of nowhere, a security guard handed us backstage wristbands so we could watch from behind the DJ. We walked through the side entrance, buzzing, and that's when I saw him. Another security guard checking wristbands. Tall, calm, ridiculously handsome. We locked eyes, smiled, and that was it. I kept walking. But I saw him again and again. Every time I went to the bar. It was the same quick smile and quiet hello. Nothing more, but definitely something there. I had lost my friend at the gig. He went back down to the main area to be right up the front and in the sweat of the DJ. Once the gig was done, everyone started to make their way out of the venue. I ducked into the bathroom beside the stage before heading out. And as I opened the door to leave, he was there, standing like he'd been waiting for me. When he turned around and saw me, the shock on his face confirmed he had no idea I was in that bathroom. We both smiled, and it was instant. You could tell we were into each other. We started talking, fast, like we were trying to fit hours into minutes. We covered a lot of things in a really short time. There was something undeniable there. He asked for my number and said that we should meet again while I was in London. Obviously, yes. Then, without overthinking it, thank you, 4 beers, I asked, "Can I give you a kiss?" He gently pulled me aside and put his lips to mine. It was a really great kiss. Shortly after our lips separated, his boss called for him, and just like that, the moment ended. He messaged me soon after, wanting to arrange when we could see each other again. Unfortunately, the timing didn't work. I only had a few days left in London, and my friend already had a bunch of things planned for us each day. So we didn't get a chance to see each other again. But we stayed in touch. He told me I was the first white woman he'd ever kissed. He was completely besotted with me, and he made it known, constantly. He would always say to me, "Wherever you decide to settle down, I'll find my way to you." This is one of the sweetest things someone has ever said to me. It should have felt romantic. A part of me liked it, but another part was skeptical. I'd seen love bombing before. How could he feel that strongly about me after 5 minutes of chatting? I thought it would surely die down, and we would just be Instagram friends that like each other's posts. But he didn't disappear. He continuously showed up, checking in, initiating phone and video calls, and continued telling me how much I meant to him. When I came back to London, we made plans. Real plans. He took a week off work so we could spend it together. And honestly, the first few days were fabulous. We talked about anything and everything. Life goals, relationships, what we wanted and what we didn't. Something to remember for later. I told him I only liked to be bought flowers when it was unexpected. Do not, under any circumstances, buy me flowers to ask for forgiveness. He seemed to understand. We got along really well. We laughed a lot. We were into the same sports. We even went to a local basketball court and shot some hoops together. I cooked him breakfasts. He cooked me dinners from his home country. We were caught up in our own little bubble, and it felt really good. Then on the fourth day, things started to go pear-shaped. We were slowly getting ready to go to Sea Life for a cute day out. He was in the bathroom, and I could hear him on the phone. I thought that was a bit odd, but I brushed it off. Then my phone lit up. Instagram notifications. New followers, new comments. I opened them and my stomach dropped. There were multiple comments across my posts saying that he had a wife and kids, that I was a homewrecker and I should be ashamed of myself. I felt sick. I stared at my phone in disbelief and with anger slowly rising in my chest. I knocked on the bathroom door and asked him to come out. I showed him everything. His face dropped. He said it was his ex from 5 years ago. He told me that my Instagram story was the reason he was on the phone in the bathroom. He was talking to his brother. His ex had taken a screenshot of the video and sent it to him. He called her crazy, said she does this when she finds out he's dating someone new. But how did she find me? The only thing I'd posted was a casual basketball clip on my story. No tag, nothing obvious. The video of us was by no means insinuating that we were lovers. It could have just been two friends or co-workers shooting some hoops. Still, she found me and didn't stop. My first priority was to block her immediately and remove all of her comments from my posts. Done. But that wasn't enough. She kept coming back with new accounts. It was overwhelming. My second priority was to find out if there was any truth in what she was saying. So I asked him directly, is any of this true? He denied everything, telling me he is definitely not married and definitely doesn't have any children. This woman is just a crazy ex that he had blocked many years ago. I wanted to believe him, but something in me told me not to. Or maybe it wasn't about believing. Maybe it was all just too much. Too much drama for my liking. I told him that I needed space. I asked him to leave so I could process and think. He didn't want to leave. He begged me to allow him to stay. He even unblocked this woman and called her in front of me to ask her why she is doing this. Now, I am not in any way condoning calling a woman crazy, but honestly, the way she acted on the phone, laughing, cackling, admitting she'd made it all up just to mess with him, it was wild. He pleaded with her to stop and to leave him alone, reconfirming all of the reasons he had blocked her out of his life in the first place. I just sat there in shock that someone could be so spiteful, especially after 5 years. After that phone call, I still asked him to leave. While the accusations were cleared up, I still needed space and time alone to think. He packed his things and he left. The next day, the buzzer to my apartment rings. As I go to answer it, I can see through the video intercom that he is holding a big bunch of flowers. The one thing I told him not to do. I let him up, but I was already annoyed. When he came inside, he handed me the flowers and apologized. I didn't say much about the flowers. They were beautiful, but I hate what they represent when they come after something like that. Flowers should be brought to bring joy and happiness as a sign of care and love, not for fixing your stuff-ups. We talked things through. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but with clear boundaries. If anything like this happened again, I was out. We spent the next few days trying to go back to how it was when we were in our little bubble. But something had shifted, and I couldn't shake the feeling. While I thought I could put it all behind me, my intuition was always there, telling me that I should leave. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to it. Then things started to fall apart in other ways. I booked another apartment for 1 more week, but when we arrived, it was not at all like it was advertised, and it was completely unlivable. It felt like a sign. I stayed 1 night, got a refund, booked another hotel, then arranged to stay with a friend. Our final night together was at that hotel. And I knew. I told him I didn't think anything would come from this, that I needed to figure things out, and that he couldn't come with me. We went out for breakfast before we said our goodbyes. Then we went our own way, not knowing if that was it. Would we ever see each other again? Once I was at my friend's, I finally decided to let my intuition lead the way. It was time for me to go. I booked a flight to Europe, and within 2 days, I was gone. We stayed in touch for a bit. He was still adamant on wanting to be with me and kept saying the same thing. Wherever you decide to settle down, don't you worry, I will make my way to you. And sometimes I still wonder, if the drama never happened, what would this have been? Would we have really hit things off? Would I still be in London? Would we still be together? Because when I think about him now, I remember the good. He is kind, funny, caring, and he treated me well. But somehow, it still wasn't enough. And that's where the story ends, but not where my thoughts do. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking, let's go there. There's something really uncomfortable about this story, and it's not the ex. It's how quickly we override our intuition the moment someone shows up with consistency. Because we say we want effort, we say we want certainty, but when it actually arrives, fast, intense, almost too good, we don't stop to ask why. So here's what I keep coming back to. Was the ex really the problem? Or was she just the interruption that exposed something that was already off? And the bigger question is, have you ever convinced yourself something felt right just because it looked right on paper? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear where you land on this. And I'll catch you in next week's episode.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you're following along to keep up to date with weekly stories that will inspire, entertain, and maybe even make you fall in love with the idea of love itself. Got your own romance story and want to be a part of the Ginger ROAMance community? Check the notes for details on how to submit your own.